Does that fan sound annoying, or can you hear it at all?
Everything A-okay.
Okay, cool. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this live on YouTube, you can also join the Zoom room, and I'm going to post the link to that in 1 second on YouTube. Okay. Okay, super. So yeah, thanks for being here today. And assume most have already been to this channel before, so thanks for tuning in again. If you're new, this is a live stream that now happens monthly. I channel the Pleiadian Council, who speak through me to support people with messages and answering questions about personal issues, as well as anything that's going on at a collective level. So welcome, and hope you enjoyed this transmission today. Ground rules is to make sure that you are muted when you're not talking, and to type your questions out if you would like, but ideally the questions that you ask aloud will get a better response and allow for a deeper sort of interaction with the Pleiadian Council, where they can help to go sort of deeper into why you might be asking that question, or blockages or blind spots that are inherent in the question itself, versus when it's text, it's usually just a plain straight up answer. And yeah, so welcome. And tomorrow there's also a closed container group that is a space where people can ask questions that they don't feel as comfortable sharing in this personal space, public space rather, where everyone who's here and those also on YouTube listen back to this. So if there's things that you'd like to explore with the council, not necessarily one-to-one, but in a small group setting, that session will happen about the same time. We'll say half an hour past, not 15 minutes past, because the delay today, tomorrow. And you can register through that by sending me an email or message and sending $22 on PayPal. And this session that we do today is also done by donation. So if anybody likes to support this to be shared every month, it's a really beautiful thing that you can offer, and helps me a lot in continuing to share this freely, as I have for almost about 3 years now. So make sure you're muted when you're not talking. Because there's also background sounds that can come in even if you're not actually doing anything loud in the house around you. Am I forgetting anything that needs to be shared or announced now?
Working on the second book.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's books. There's the guidebook to Living Love on Earth, and that's available on Amazon.com. And it's a huge book. There's so much in it. It's, like 40 hours of channeling has gone to create this book. And it outlines many things, almost anything that we would want to know about our galactic history and things that take place in our world. It's a very broad book, and it's even a book that you can use as an oracle, kind of like opening up any page of it randomly with a question and seeing what the book might have to offer. But there's another book that's coming out that is very, it's actually not a book, yet. So it's actually eventually going to become that, but it's a program. It's an interactive program that's all about money and value, because that's kind of a big theme for many people in our world. You know, our world's very much obsessed with that in our current situation. And in this energy, light work, spiritual community, you know, we have a lot of people have resistance to money, or there's people who are still in that consumerist mindset, only focused on money. Many people have blockages to overcome how to come to grips with this energy in a positive way and actually understand what's happening. So this isn't just one of those coaching programs that just teaches you, here's how to get rich. It's not actually about that at all. It's about having a healthy relationship with money and understanding why this energy isn't in the world as it is today. So transforming how you relate to it, and that will lead to having more wealth, but it will also lead to a more holistic perspective that helps the whole world grow in not being enslaved by money anymore, and instead living through your heart's passion, for your heart's passion, and letting that be what brings things towards you. So that course is in the works. It's a collaboration between me and a friend named Michael Lassen, who is a marketing advisor and life coach. And we've, with the Pleiadian Council and him really created it. I added some ideas too. So I suggest that you take a dive into that if you have the time. And the details about it will be revealed shortly. How shortly, I don't know, probably within this week. So stay tuned to my feeds on social media and also the email list on dantestarshine.com for information about that. And what else to say? So the channeling course is enrolling. It's a channeling and intuitive healing course. It isn't just channeling. You learn how to connect with your spirit guides, but you also learn how to do energy healing modalities where you can practice on yourself and others, guiding through these transformative processes and learning how to read energy for other people and also within yourself. It's actually harder to read your own energy. And that's why in this group process, it's this, you know, ongoing transformation where people come together and we're reflecting and we're supporting each other, and you're scanning their energy, they're scanning your energy, and we're learning to call in our guides all at the same time. It's 12 live courses over 3 to 4 months, depending on how many times we break. It says 13 weeks, but we've often extended it and put more breaks in there. And the whole time there is a live chat on a message board, like what's up. It could be different this time, where we're discussing and sharing and people are asking questions and I'm always responding within a day or so. And it's an ongoing way to let the energy and the teachings of the course really integrate and percolate. So on the website, you can find the information about the course as well as testimonials and videos. So let me know if you have questions. I do free program consultations to talk about that. Okay, that's enough of talking about various things now, I think. So maybe we begin. Can I make somebody the host to let, oh, and we don't need to let people in, that's right. I won't get kicked out, okay.
I can do that though if you need.
No.
Okay.
Hello, and we say once again, a fantastic day to each and every one of you. We thank you for allowing this transmission to take place and to tune in to this energy together. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we speak on behalf of the Galactic Alliance, supporting your world in this evolutionary process. Some of you call ascension. It is a gift, honor, blessing to establish contact. So again, we thank you. And we open up today with a brief message to share with you about the difference between seeking and attracting. So in your world, you often look outside of yourselves for resources, for community, for connection, and you do it in a way that you investigate, you put out far too much energy searching in a sort of desperation for connection without even knowing that you're in that state. You question, where is what I'm looking for? And bring yourself around in seeming loops at times, trying to establish whatever it is you are seeking. And we propose to you a very different way of doing that, which we've talked about in various ways before. When we allude to this understanding that you attract to you the types of energies, the types of people, the types of interactions that you seek to you through the energy that you put out yourself. So one of these laws of existence is everything that you put out comes back. And this means when you put out an attractive, excited, connected, abundant energy, that is the kind of energy that will return onto you. So when you really dive deep into your awareness of this, you will end the patterns of continuously exhausting yourself in the search. Now, what we're saying doesn't mean you don't open yourself and look for and experience any sort of going out into your world to make the new connections. But it means a shift of your awareness. Rather than going into these connections, you draw the energy towards you. You've been taught to push energy out of yourself, that as you go and apply for a job or go and meet somebody to ask them on a date or go and try to make a new friend, that you're pushing an energy outside of you, that you're attempting to get into, get invited to, get the entrance into what you're seeking. But instead, this shift of awareness is that you are emanating the vibration of already experiencing, already having, already connecting with whoever, whatever, however it is that you want to establish connection. So one area where this is very common, that you are seeking in a way that is draining your energy and you're constantly putting out energy, is with this idea of community. And as we share, you do have this basic need for relationship. And it's understandable why anyone in your world wants and would want to experience community. However, when you go into the pursuit of community without having this deep level of understanding that you already are connected, that you already have allies and support, and instead that you need to force or create or build these connections from a place of emptiness, it is an energy that often pushes away. And if it does bring people towards you, you establish connection on this sort of false ground of emptiness. And when you connect with another and they think as if this person really needs this connection, the value of that connection for them also starts to decrease a little bit. Whereas when you expand yourself into a place of fullness and you create connections, the other people value to be connected with you so much more, because they feel that you are complete in your own right, that you are connected to so many beings in such a high level of consciousness that this relationship could fall away and it would be just fine for you, because it would be. So you have to put yourself in that mind state ahead of time. You have to learn how to be totally detached from the coming and going of the thing that you desire the most, because it is when you're at that level that it will magnetically be pulled towards you. And this happens because you create such a strong sense of fullness, of having, of abundance, that it brings many others to desire to resonate with that frequency as well. When you come into resonance with that frequency, other people will want to experience proximity to it, because energetically there's an effect taking place where they too begin to resonate with that powerful frequency of energy. So you can expand this understanding into many areas of your lives and understand that whenever you experience a sort of lack or desperation and you go into the mode of seeking, then you will automatically push away that which you desire most. And we encourage you as well to really get a grasp on this, to watch the recent video that we released about needs versus wants, because so much of this feeling of desperation comes from mistaking wants as needs. And when you get really clear as to what your needs actually are versus what is a need and what is simply a desire, you will be able to create that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of fullness, that feeling of enoughness within yourself, to the degree that you can effortlessly attract things to you without ever experiencing that falling away or pushing away of energy that happens so much when you interact and operate from a place of not having or feeling empty. We encourage you to open yourself, to recognize that your needs are not so complex and they are not so far out of reach. And as you do this, you'll be able to note from the here and now, what is the path of least resistance bringing you to embody your passion and your highest excitement in the quickest, most efficient way. You won't tell yourself the story that when I get to this point, or when I have this much abundance, success, or attention, then I will be able to take these steps forward into my passion. You will come to deeply embody in a more complete way the understanding that your passion can only be here and now. And any story about the future is not your passion, it's simply a fantasy that is based in not need, but desire alone. Not to say that desire is wrong, but it is not the fuel for your engine that will actually support you in this ascension process. This passion is very much different than the emptiness of a longing sort of desire. Because in passion, there is a sense of fullness in the moment. Passion is based on the understanding that you are complete in your connection with source, and that energy guides you into expansion. Whereas desire is so much so based on a sense of lack that leads to a longing. And you will come to note the difference between these frequencies, because you will experience passion as an energy that comes from your heart and leads to a feeling of fullness, whereas desire creates a sensation of emptiness somewhere within you. So apply this, understand this, integrate this, and recognize that you pull towards you your reality. You do not walk forward into an opportunity. You draw the opportunity towards you into the now. And this is true about essentially everything in your experience. Shifting your perspective from going towards to drawing into you will bring about a grand shift. And you will recognize that you don't have to push against anything. You simply have to allow your own vibrational resonance to change and witness how that draws towards you the opportunities that you may be seeking. All right, we thank you for allowing us to share this information and this message with you. Oh, and one final thing. When it comes to the idea of community, putting out your vibration is really intimately interconnected with speaking your own truth. And so anytime you are not being totally honest in your communication, you are pushing away those who are really meant to be connected with you. And this doesn't mean that you have to be blunt about your truth or express it in a way that is rude. That is no longer truth, but a distortion of the truth. Sometimes you might say the aspects of the truth that you know will be resonating in the moment, but you cannot in any way hide your truth. You cannot suppress the innate perspective and feeling that is emanating from you, because this is what is meant to attract to you the right people to share and connect with. And if for any reason you are engaging in a sort of self-censoring or self-suppression chronically in order to maintain connection with anyone or anything, you can come to understand that those people or experiences aren't really the right resonant match for where you are heading and what is true to your soul's essence. So be open to releasing these experiences by integrating your own truth in a deep way and integrating a courageous expression of whatever that truth is. And this will allow you to be more resonant with the types of beings that you want to really have around. Remember, as we've said, this is the year of taking initiative. And some of the biggest initiatives in your reality are not done as a solo effort. They are done as collective efforts, as many different people come together with the same intention and the same perspective. Well, different perspectives, but similar attitudes and values that lead to a group perspective that is more similar and more attuned to one particular vision than it is attuned to the sort of collective vision. Now, you need to bring many individuals together for some of the most important things that you are about to take initiative into. And this is why this understanding of not watering down or distorting your truth in any way is so important. Because if you are really going to walk towards what your greatest intentions and visions are, it's much easier and smoother when you do it in community with support. All you have to do is make sure that the community connections you are establishing are really the ones that resonate in the deepest, clearest way with what is essentially true for you. All right, we thank you for allowing us to share this message at this time, and we ask in which ways can we be of support to you with any questions and musings and sharings if you would like.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. This is very apt for me. And I'm always a little nervous, to be honest, when I start doing this. Anticipatory anxiety, so forgive that.
That's all right.
I am, I've given my 2-week notice at my job, and my last day is Monday. And I am relating to a lot of what you've said, because I have great excitement about bringing new things into my life and attracting new things, and in a way starting over once again. And I do have some fears about money, yes, and about financial security, but I really resonated with the idea of drawing toward me with my best energy beautiful experiences in the near future, even though the near future, as it always is very uncertain, and maybe a bit more so for me now. But I'm also in some great excitement about meeting new people and of like mind and like heart, and being a bigger part of my community. And so I appreciate that.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask a regular sort of question about perhaps committing myself to a trip in Mount Shasta with some people in June. And I would like to commit to that, and with the great excitement that it brings. And to live right now without fear of finding a new job, and well, I'm changing my life in good ways, and becoming a little healthier, and I feel like just some excitement, and I just want a little confirmation about that, and some confirmation about perhaps taking this dive with this trip with a group of people to be on the mountain and have some shamanic type journeys, etc. I'd like some confirmation about that, if you don't mind. And also, I want to relay my thanks to you for your last transmission to me, because I've stopped smoking pot and it's really changed my life. And I'm really grateful your words hit me just perfectly at the right time to enable me to do that. And it's allowing me to take better care of my health. And because I've been suffering with a little bit of arthritis and some stuff in my toe, and the work that I have right now is just not sustainable. And so I'm moving out of something that I've been working in for 40 years. I'm retiring from the restaurant business. So any intel or intuition, thoughts, feelings about new directions for me? And thank you.
Well, first of all, we congratulate you on making many big changes at once. So celebrate that, first of all. We celebrate you for allowing yourself to let go of the habit and let go of feeling dependent on something that was not really serving you. And
Yes.
choosing to let go of work that doesn't do well for you either. So celebrate that. Enjoy the experience of freeing yourself, first of all.
Yeah. Thank you.
And to step into a new path, simply tune into that energy of excitement for whatever that might be. Ask yourself, out of anything I could do, what would excite me the most? What do I feel the most resonant, the most attracted to doing with my time? And allow yourself to go over this question, and you might get inspiration, you might get hints, you might start to see which pathway feels the most attractive to you here and now.
Yes.
And then when you have the time, look for openings, look for possibilities, look for ways that you might be able to dive in. As for this retreat experiences on the mountain, this is a very grand thing. This is something that will allow you a deeper opening into your connection with your spirit guides and your understanding of higher reality, really. You will be able to open doors that will stay open if you choose. Doors of seeing into the realms that exist around you all the time. These doors have been creaking open for years, and if you choose, this experience will allow you to break them open and keep them open.
Yes.
Though you have to be prepared for them to stay open then. That means you have to not go back to old ways of doing things in hopes that you will shut them because you aren't truly prepared for them to stay open. So what you have to do in this time before is look at any of the fears that you might have about this and release them. Recognize that spirit and your guides and the other beings on other planes will not interfere with you. They will only respond to your requests, and they will show you messages, and they will make themselves known to you. But you have complete and total free will to ask them to go if you want that. And you have complete and total free will to not be controlled by any of the beings there. Though you have to really look through what your own beliefs are and what your own sense of security might be that would make the experience of being in the constant company of guides and beings around you seem in any way uncomfortable. Because you will, yes, be able to break through into those deeper levels of connection.
Beautiful. That's very helpful.
Yes.
I love you so much.
We love you too. Do
Thank
you have
you.
any desire to work with animals?
Yes. Yes. And the arts?
Yeah. The arts as well. Both of these might be opportunities. You might not find that you get one new job, but instead many different streams of income. So be also open to the idea of letting the little areas of passion in your life start to be things that bring the money towards you.
Yes. Thank you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thanks to you as well.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Luciane.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you so much. I actually get to be part of this. I guess my question would be healing trauma and assisting others to forgive. I'm not like, how do you do that? I guess that would be my question.
Well, trauma is not essentially what happened to you, but it's how you dealt with what happened to you. So some people have this view of trauma that because of what happened, they will never be the same again. And this is true, but it isn't true in the way that they assume it to be true. You are always changed by every experience, but you don't have to be changed in a negative way by such an experience. You can allow the experience to be something that informs you to see deeper into yourself. And so essentially with trauma, what you have to do is release the emotional charge and the negative beliefs that that emotional charge supports. So oftentimes, or yes, almost all the time in a traumatic circumstance, one starts to believe negative things about themselves, such as they are not safe, such as they deserve these sorts of experiences, or that they are innately negative or unlovable in some way. And these beliefs become the dominant stories that shape their consciousness. And why these symptoms of trauma stay in the body is because these beliefs are lodged in the mind, and they continue to create the thought forms that keep one living the loop of self-destructive or self-limiting behaviors. So in order to release the trauma, all of this has to go. And the most important thing to do is to allow yourself to feel the emotion while recognize that the story behind the emotion isn't true, and recognize that you have the choice to do something totally different. One healing modality that is often useful for trauma is a regression therapy, in which through a hypnotic induction, one goes into memories from childhood and relives them while then changing the memories, using imagination to create a new storyline in one's mind that resonates with a better vibration, a better emotional state, a new positive belief system, and uses that as an anchor point to move forward. This is a useful permission slip if you're called to it, though that permission slip doesn't replace the work in any way of being fully present in all moments with emotions and allowing them to be felt and released, while again recognizing your choice to respond in different ways and choose different stories. As you come to respond in different ways, you are creating new patterns, you're creating new neurocircuitry that have to be built gradually with time. And once you build those new neurocircuit pathways, you are totally grounded in them over time, and they become your automatic response from then on.
Thank you.
Yes.
Much love.
Oh, I love to you as well. Something more you would like to ask?
I don't think so. Not today, I guess. But
Oh,
thank you so much for everything.
Oh, yes. Thanks to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome, yes.
My first question is regarding artificial intelligence, AI or AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Yes.
Will this technology be created by modeling or replicating brain-like structure?
No.
So it needs to be some other structure that uses different neuron structure or something like that.
Well, artificial intelligence already exists. There's many different forms of artificial intelligence. They are programs that do various things. So it's a computer program. It's not similar to a brain. A brain is its own organic network. And in a sense, the data banks of some of these programs are brain-like in that they store information in various parts, and there's this sort of binary network of data and information that is somehow a parallel to the neural networks of the brain, but it is not as if they are modeling the intelligence off of the brain. In the future, there might be types of artificial intelligence that are humanoid or human-like, that are based upon the brain, if that's what you're asking. But the other AI programs that already exist and are being developed aren't quite up to that speed yet, but one day they will be.
What I'm aiming for is that all this technology that we currently have is heavily inspired by neurons in the brain.
Yes.
But it's a very rough approximation of the real behavior of the neurons.
Yes.
So does it make sense to make this approximation of neurons better as a natural neuron is behaving?
Yes.
Would it help to enhance this technology?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, another theme. What's your definition of anger?
Anger. It's a particular emotion that can be very complex, really. Anger manifests when one has an experience that violates their boundaries. Anger can manifest when one does not get to experience what they really want or need. Anger is a response, in this sense, a response to a violation, or it is a response to fear. And anger is one's natural way of overcoming the perceived threat. So yeah, in the simplest definition, anger is response to threat. Whether that threat is real or imagined, anger is a response to threat. And anger is, in this sense, a positive emotion when it is used to respond to the threat in a healthy way. The first thing one must do is ask, is this threat real, or is this a perceived threat that I am constructing through the filters of my own negative beliefs? And then you have to be able to be present with this emotion and allow it to inform you as to the ways that you are wishing to set up healthy boundaries and put healthy parameters in place for a proper engagement with the situation, and not allow that anger to bring you into a more primal reactive mode.
In my case, I feel anger, or I go to anger mode, usually when I'm low on my energy.
So you are feeling threatened by your own lack of energy and drive.
Mm-hmm.
And because you believe that having low energy is going to lead to some situation that is negative.
Mm-hmm. So how to deal with it?
What do you believe in those moments?
Usually I'm willing to take a rest or go to sleep, but some other circumstances doesn't allow me to do so.
So you are not fully resting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is in a sense a natural response because a lack of energy, a lack of sleep, eventually becomes a threat to you. So the question here would then be, how do you create the space in your life, or how do you guide yourself to take proper rest?
Mm-hmm.
You recognize a being needs at least 7 hours of sleep.
Yes, usually more than that.
And do you allow yourself that?
Yes.
All right.
And what I'm experiencing, what I've been sharing previously, I'm enjoying it basically to be on fast during the work week. And yes, this also deprives me of the energy, but I still can operate, but usually this triggers my anger when there is something not so comfortable to deal with, as my my family or some other circumstances. So I'm just working on that to not be so much triggered and deal with this different way. So that's my,
Well, that's
my
natural.
current
That's
approach.
called hanger by many of you. It's the anger that comes when you're low on blood sugar. And it's not something that is very easy to psychologically transcend, because it is your body telling you that you need energy to respond to the situations in your life. And it is threatening to you because you are not having the energy you need to process all of the information.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but I'm taking it as a challenge, personal challenge, to deal with it other way and to accept it, the circumstances more positively, and then turn it to be a positive energy for me, not negative energy. That's my current approach to it. Can you suggest anything else?
We suggest not doing that, but go on.
Yes, but to being on fast, it brings me a lot of mental clarity and lightness to my...
No, it doesn't. You're telling us two contradictory things. What's happening when you're fasting is you're experiencing a ping pong effect between these high states and these low states. It's not a stable frequency. What you're describing as clear and mental clarity is a frequency that does not waver. So wavering between blissful experiences of momentary clarity and anger is not a stable frequency and is not the clearest expression of clarity that you are describing, that you are seeking. Do you understand? Because when you really apply this formula, and when you really allow yourself to clear your negative belief systems, and when you meet all of your needs, your frequency will be stable. It won't be this wave that goes up and down and up and down and up and down all the time. You'll be in a place where your energy stabilizes and energy comes to you, and it might be perceived as positive or negative, or as a threat or as a support, but you won't waver from that stable baseline. That's the
And but my experience from the past is that after a longer time it stabilizes. It's just the some current instability, and then when I handle it, okay, then it will stabilize.
all right.
Okay, but thank you for your comments, and I will think about it more.
Oh. We would never suggest depriving yourself of your needs. Yes, fasting is useful, though your body needs energy for mental processes. Your body doesn't just need the energy from food for physical processes and exercise. You are using calories and energy just to think and to speak and to respond. And actually thinking uses quite a bit more energy than most of you recognize. That's all. But
Okay.
thanks.
And one more question I would like to have is regarding the influence of daily light to our biological rhythms. I heard about some studies that many civilization diseases may be caused by artificial lightning that we are using inside our homes, and this is disrupting our natural body cycles. Is this research correct?
Yes, it is.
So it really makes sense to adjust our lighting inside our homes according to the outside lights.
Yes, dimmer lights are better. The older school light bulbs were much more stable to your energy than the fluorescent lighting. Fluorescent lighting, as it is used in so many of your offices and various places, is one of the more destructive forms of energy.
And LED lighting, is it better?
Better than fluorescent, yes.
But I heard that it needs to be tuned, that there is not that much blue light inside this light.
Yes. The blue light is affecting your circadian rhythm very much, because the blue light is experienced as sunlight, and your body has the natural response to sunlight to go into a wake up mode. And in this mode, you are not really resting if, for example, you are surrounding yourself with blue lights right before bed. So even many of your devices have within them a blue light filter naturally. It is installed within the factory settings. However, if your device doesn't have that, we would suggest you install an app that allows for that. If that isn't possible on your device, then wear the blue light filter glasses that are yellow glasses that filter out this light. Ideally, you spend 1 hour without the influence of technology before you go to sleep. Now, it's all right if you use the phone until you go to bed, but don't expect then to fall into a restful sleep right away. We would hope that you consider you deduct that first hour before you actually get into a deep sleep mode from your sleeping times. You're really calculating it, because the light of the phone and the interactivity of the phone keeps you from actually going into the deeper level of rest for a significant period of time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Greetings.
Hello.
My name is Nirvana.
Hello, welcome.
I am ever so honored to be here with you.
Oh, and we're very excited to meet you as well.
Thank you. I am in the midst of a beautiful spiritual awakening. It's been over the last few years, really, and I'm sure it will be an ongoing process for the rest of my days. But I have recently begun learning some details of my cosmic lineage, as well as coming into more contact with my interdimensional aspects.
Yes.
It's yeah, it's a lot and wonderful. And I am so pleased. I only came across sweet, precious Dante just last week. I've only discovered him just this last week. And I feel so privileged to be able to speak with you, the Pleiadian Council, as I feel as though I have a rich connection with the Pleiadians. And so please, I feel kind of selfish and silly. It's a human thing, I suppose, to ask, but if you have any information or input that might assist me in the joyful embodiment of my innate divinity, I am in deep appreciation, and I thank you.
Oh, and we are as well honored to meet you and appreciative of the connection. We thank you for coming to introduce yourself and meet us. And we would, in response to your question, ask you, are you acting upon your highest excitement or passion?
Well, acting upon my highest excitement or passion. I would say that I've followed my heart to put me into the position I am in at this moment, but following my highest passion, I suppose I couldn't really say that I am.
All right. So that is our main message to all of you, is to learn how to let this frequency of your highest passion guide you. And it's a moment-to-moment experience where you allow your heart to be a barometer, magnetizing you towards the actions and activities that fill you with that level of unconditional love and passion more than anything else. So do you think you can do that? Do you see an area of your life where you're not really choosing the most exciting possibility?
I do wonder if I am playing it pretty safe, in that I have a lot of stories that I tell myself about money and resources as that pertains to my highest passions. My mind gets active in telling me all of the reasons that it will be difficult or maybe impossible. I also should say, though, that I do make it a point to remain joyful in the simple things and passionately joyful about things as simple and beautiful as the songs that the birds sing and the shapes that the clouds make. I take those quite personally, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And I feel as though I am receiving beautiful upgrades on a regular basis. So I don't really feel like I'm missing out. The biggest thing that I guess I wonder is if I'm just not doing enough.
Well, you do understand this level of the passion frequency that we would describe as doing things in ways that bring you to feel passion. It's bringing the deeper awareness into all of these experiences you're having. As you mentioned, the clouds and the different phenomena that occur around you, experiencing all of it as a gift, as a blessing, as an opportunity to go deeper into connection with Source. And this is a wondrous gift to have, and it's a wondrous thing to already be practicing. Though, yes, if you see doorways that could open for you to step through, if you chose to invest, but you're not doing it out of fear, then that would be a sort of blockage to this formula. Because passion is generated when you say yes to those things that fill you the most with love, excitement. And sometimes this energy feels accompanied with a bit of anxiety, but the anxiety is the distortion of the negative belief systems at work. In this case, the negative belief system is I am not able to meet my needs if I don't have enough, and so on. So the only way to overcome such beliefs is sometimes to take the risk, take the plunge, and walk through, and understand that in the process of choosing to entertain the perspective that I do have enough, and that I am abundant, and that I attract to myself all of the needs that I have, and the abundance that I need to meet those needs, then you will open into that process of transforming, and you will be able to be a more magnetic being. Because beings who act upon their passion and live their passion and have that passion circulating through them are certainly much more magnetic.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you.
Oh, I think you as well. So do you think you'd be willing to do that? Perhaps in small ways at first. All right.
My audio cut out for a moment. Did you ask me something? I'm sorry.
Yes. We said, do you think you'd be willing to do that?
Oh, yes. Yes, those are all goals that I work toward on a regular basis, and I do dwell largely in the, okay, this is an interesting paradox I find. I find that in my abundance mindset that I have, I feel quite happy with and gosh, content and well cared for with the amount of comfort that I do have in my life, and it's difficult for me to specifically ask for more things or think of things that I actually want more of. And so that's when your passion comes in as opposed to desire, I suppose. And so, yeah, and so my passion actually always has me thinking of different places I would want to go. I want to go and experience many things. So I am in the process then of learning how to magnetize myself to that frequency.
Yes. So can you start with taking a short trip somewhere you would like to go?
Oh, well, yes. Gosh, I mean, last year for my birthday, I actually went down to South America and did a beautiful spiritual event with a large group of people. So I learned about myself that I'm an excellent solo traveler, and that there really aren't any limits as far as that goes, that I'm well cared for no matter where I go. And since then, I actually had a huge turnover in my life, and I moved to the middle of nowhere in Texas where my elderly parents are, and I'm helping them And I've given myself a nice launch pad where I can travel more and be more present to my parents. I feel like I'm waiting for some sort of inspirational understanding of what my next step will be, but I feel like I've made a whole lot of changes and that I'm in the midst of receiving lots of good things. So yes, a short trip would be great, especially once this ice storm passes.
So you see the power that comes, the transformation that comes with acting on your passion, and especially with traveling, and you have the ability, you are aware. So in the time that you are waiting, so to speak, that's when applying this formula of acting on your passion in every single moment becomes the most key, because the inspiration builds when you're inspired by everything. The inspiration builds by moment to moment, looking at all of the pathways you have before you for expanding that feeling of love and passion in your heart and choosing that one. It's the small things, like what do you choose to do when you wake up in the morning, and what do you choose to do when you have moments of free time. Sort between the various choices and break through the habitual patterns to do things that don't really lift you up to the highest potential frequency. And this will generate the inspiration and bring in the synchronicity that allows for the bigger inspirations to manifest.
Yes, so just keep reaching for my highest vibe and just keep building on that.
Yes, snowballs, it expands continuously.
Yes. Yes, infinitely. Well, thank you so much, Pleiadian Council. Thank you very much.
Our big thanks and loves to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this transmission. So greatly appreciated. So coming up kind of the heels of the similar conversation that was just had, as you know, I'm going through some transition and will be moving again locations. And part of that was a combination of really asking myself about seeking my highest passion, as well as combined with trying to work on drawing some boundaries, and partially boundaries with a friendship that was feeling not so positive, is beginning to take on a different characteristic from what it was historically. And my hesitation or my struggle right now is, if I leave where I am now and move to this new location that I'm considering, would I be compromising sort of my energetic or growth from an energetic and deep spiritual level? Or will I still be able to pursue that in this new location, if that makes sense?
What makes you think that you might be compromising?
That's a great question. I think part of my seeking out of where I'm living now is to be more connected with the land and the history, the deep history of this land where I am on the Big Island. And I'm concerned that if I'm going to a more densely populated, more urban type of setting, that I don't want to lose that path or lose sight of those learnings and the possibilities of those learnings.
Well, you would still be able to get around. You would still have transportation, yes.
Yes.
So you'd still be able to access these places in nature and access the people who might be able to help you establish that deeper contact and that deeper understanding.
Mm. Mm.
So if you're really feeling a draw towards something else, listen to it. If you're really feeling a draw or a repulsion rather from this friend, listen to it. If you've tried everything you can to find a peaceful resolution and a means to access harmony with this person, then yes, take a step forward. So if you feel that maybe there's something more that you could do to see if there's still a pathway to harmony, open yourself to explore it as one last possibility. And if it doesn't feel like it flows, allow yourself to be free, because there are so many different avenues through which you can meet this intention and fulfill it.
Yes, thank you for helping me see that, because I'm beginning to see those opportunities open up and how I can use the experiences of the last 2 years with the intentions of that organization and layer them into new initiatives that are beginning to open up. So I think that was my concern, that I didn't want to lose some of the intentions of connecting with Indigenous peoples and the land and stewardship of land. So I appreciate that perspective. Thank you. That helps me have a little bit more confidence that it can still be done.
There's always a way.
Thank you so much, Pleiadians.
Oh, well,
I
thanks.
love
I love to you as well. So any final questions from this group then? Somebody who has not yet asked a question? Something to share?
May I have another question?
No. Channels, we're tired now. We are changing these formats, limiting the space. You all know that there's many other ways to connect with us. So this free gift is to allow you to have the questions that might fit the short amount of time that you have to interact. And when there's no more questions, there's no more transmission.
Thank you, Council.
Yes,
You're
okay.
ever so good.
And we are infinitely gratitude to you as well for allowing this transmission to take place, for receiving this information and allowing it to integrate in your world. It is always a gift, a blessing, an honor to establish contact with you. So we thank you for making this a reality, for it supports your world in evolving through this ascension process. And it supports us in getting to experience more of all that is and expand our own evolutionary process in our own way. So we wish you again fantastic rest of your day then, and we hope to see you soon. But we are, of course, always with you. And you can each establish an individual connection with your own Pleiadian guides or other guides from higher dimensions, supporting your individual process. We are always with you in the ever-present here and now. All right.
Thank you, Dante. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dante.
Welcome.
Awesome one, Dante.
Yay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome. Nice to meet some of the new people who joined today.
Yes, so wonderful. Welcome, Nirvana. It was really great. That's always good.
Oh, I think she left already.
Oh, well, she was lovely to have, wasn't she?
Yeah, really
Always,
nice.
always good to have new faces, new energies, new people. And see, oh my goodness, I'm so happy for you. And to me personally, what you're suggesting sounds really wonderful. And I'm really happy for you to keep moving around the islands and just keep following your bliss, lady. You got it. You got it.
That means a lot to me. Appreciate that. And your share today is inspiring. That's huge for you to make that huge transition. So
Yes.
positive
Congratulations.
energy support. Yeah.
Many thanks. Thank you. Yeah, it feels good.
Welcome.
Oh, stretching. Yes.
Yeah. It's too
What
early in
time
the morning.
is it, Dante?
It's like 10:40.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing a little too much. I need to take it slower. But when life starts flowing, it's hard to make it stop, you know?
Yeah. Like you said,
Yay,
emotion.
So thanks again, everyone. And a reminder, there's the opportunity to join tomorrow private transmission if you'd like, $22 donation. And you can also support this session today by adding donation if you feel called to support me in continuing to offer these transmissions. Great appreciation for that. A lot goes into everything that goes into the channel, where many new videos are being uploaded all the time. So pay attention to that, to what comes up on the feed, and pass it around to your friends. As the more people tune into this, the more the frequency in this world can shift and grow and evolve.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream now. So thanks for tuning. Oh, can I end the live stream? Is it possible to just end the live stream without ending the video? It apparently isn't.
End the video first, or else it won't record. Or sorry, end the recording first, or else it won't. If you just leave the meeting, it won't stop recording. It won't
Oh, really?
capture. Yeah.
I thought it always did that.
Oh, does it? Oh,
whenever I end the meeting, it definitely
captures it. Okay.
It definitely just ends the other
Recording.
thing. But I think that once it's streaming, then you can't unstream it. So we'll close in a moment here.
Okay.
Any last shares?
Nope. Be well, everyone. Thanks again, Dante.
Love, thank you for being here.
I'll hold you all in my heart, definitely.
Yeah, same to you. Okay. All right. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
welcome.
Have a nice day.
Namaste.
Bye.